Okay. I got people that won't leave me alone about this, about why you girls always go back to your jerk-off boyfriends or ex-boyfriends or whatever when they treat you like shit, and you don't know why. And whenever a good person comes along after, you decide to blow them off. So when the nice guy comes, you don't know how to handle it, and you pretty much ditch them and go back for the douchebag. Now, it's very common. If I had 3 cents for every girl that I knew that went through this, I'd be rich easily. So here's what it's called. It is called battered woman syndrome. Okay, that's battered woman syndrome. Now, what this means is it goes through a series of a cycle, right? So it starts off like this, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. The boy's nice to you. He's normal. Relationship is working out nice and all this bullshit, right? And then out of nowhere, he gets very abusive. Now, it doesn't have to mean like a physical abuse. It can be a mental abuse. He treats you like shit. He ignores you. He's just like, shut up, leave me alone. Or he's the dick in any way possible, right? So what happens is the cycle then goes into, from normal, it goes into him being abusive. Now, remember, the abuse can go in any way possible. From this point, when he sees you're getting upset or he thinks he might lose you, it's called the honeymoon phase. So when he honeymoons you, he's going to be all like, oh, baby, I'm sorry, I'm this, that, and the other thing will never happen again. And you'll be like, all right, you know what, he's human, things happen. He honeymoons you for a good week or so. He's all lovey-dovey, and you're like, oh, this is the boyfriend I've always wanted. And what happens is, from there, it goes back to normal. So your relationship is good. A few days later, he's back to the abuse phase. So as this constantly happens, if you put up with this shit too much, psychologically, you're going to release a chemical in your brain, which means battered woman syndrome, which means you will always go back to the abuser. You won't know how to react when someone else comes up to you that isn't an abuser. So, you know, all I fucking hear, ooh, I can never find a nice guy, I can never find this guy, this, that, the other thing. It's like, you gotta overcome yourself first, before you can go around saying that you're not a nice guy, because if you don't overcome this, it's gonna be in your head. It releases a chemical. If you don't overcome that chemical, you're always gonna be going for douchebag Derek. And then, voila. Now, we all know most girls have always dealt with an asshole their entire life. So, overcome this and find someone new. You keep going back to the abuser, it's going to get harder and harder. Remember, the abused will always go back to the abuser. Okay? And it goes through the phases. Just watch. Look at yourself and tell me if this has happened to you. Okay? So this is called battered woman syndrome. This is what it is. Battered woman syndrome. Goes through the phases, chemicals in the brain. If you don't overcome it, you're going to be stuck with dicks the rest of your life. Overcome it. Play your cards right. Watch someone closely. Maybe you'll find that nice guy. When you do find him, don't be so fast to fucking throw him out of the water, because maybe he's permanently nice and normal. Battered woman syndrome, ladies. Take care.